What is the best kart in Mario Kart World? This is no simple question, as there's a lot more to Mario Kart World than what the game tells you. Karts, for example. There are so many stats that you can't find anywhere in the game. So in this video, I'll be going over some of those stats, as well as describing why the best kart is the best. I'll leave timestamps in the description, so you can jump to the parts you care about. Alright, so first off, we have the stats that the game does tell you. Speed, acceleration, handling, and weight. Speed is just how fast the kart can go when at max speed. Acceleration is how fast the car can reach its max speed. Handling is just the higher handling stat a kart has, the more control of your character and the sharper turns you can make. And finally, the weight stat is pretty straightforward. The heavier you are, the harder it is to push you, and vice versa. So now that we know about the stats the game tells us about, I'm going to let you know about some stats the game doesn't even mention. First off, karts all have different speeds for whatever surface they're driving on. These surfaces include smooth, rough or off-road, and water. For example, Cow is used on Moo Moo Meadows and speedruns because he's faster on the dirt track. Now most of these stats don't actually matter that much, because 90% of the time you'll be on a regular smooth surface, so we really don't have to look into air or water speed. Unless you're doing time trials, then you've got to do some research on what track is best for that track. Now we've already covered handling, but the game only tells you that handling has just one stat. But that stat is just an average of all the different handling stats the kart has. Each kart's handling is different for the type of surface they're driving on, the same as speed. Now weight is probably the most important stat to know about, because the game doesn't tell you how weight affects how coins work on your character. If you didn't know, the more coins you have, the faster you are. But not the way you think. You don't gain speed per coin in a linear way. Just take a look at this graph. This blue line at the top is for the lightest characters, and this gray line at the bottom is for the heaviest characters. As we can see, they both end up at a 5% increase at 20 coins, the maximum. But let's take a look at the speed bonus for 1 coin. The lightest characters will have a speed increase of 1.4% at just 1 coin, while the heaviest characters will only have a 0.2 increase. Now, heavier characters do also go faster in general, so that 5% is actually a lot better for heavier characters, but the only downside is they need to collect all of those coins for it to actually matter, compared to lighter characters who can just grab 10 coins and be happy with a 4% boost. So from this description, I think we can all agree that lighter characters are usually going to be better, as keeping a lot of coins is quite hard. At last, we have the mini turbo stat, and the higher the stat is, the better the boost you get from a drift. This only applies to the boost from a drift, and not tricks, as the boost from tricks is the same for every character. So now that we know all there is to building the best kart, we're gonna want something with good speed and handling on regular smooth surfaces, as that is what we're driving on most of the time. We'll want at least above average acceleration, and a lightweight vehicle so we won't have to collect a lot of coins. And something that has a good mini turbo boost. The vehicle that best fits all those descriptions goes to the baby blooper. You've definitely seen this thing around. So many people use it, almost as if to testify its strength. The baby blooper was made for riding on smooth surfaces, as it has one of the best handling stats, and an above average speed when it comes to that. Although it's not great on any other surface, but like I said, that doesn't matter too much. Most water maps have land skips on them anyways. This kart also has one of the best mini turbo stats, which takes full advantage of its good handling. This kart also has above average acceleration, which isn't a big deal, but it's still helpful when you're hit with a lightning. It's also one of the lightest karts in the game, so it's usually paired with light characters like Toadette or this little guy. So now you know why everyone uses this kart online. It's just the best when it comes to general use, even with its weaknesses. Hopefully you found this information helpful, and if you did, consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next one.